When it came Saturday, which was the day of the meeting, and I talked to Kilth, once the pleasantries were through, all Kilth wanted to talk to me about was what had gone on in those meetings. That was all he wanted to talk about. And his feelings were really hurt, and rightfully so. Um, Now, Kilth mentioned that I told him he should leave the guild. What he didn't mention was all the stuff that he said that led up to that comment. And all the stuff that he said, the core point that he made was he didn't trust my leadership anymore. He had absolutely zero trust in my ability to lead the guild. And I said, if that's the way that you truly feel, then you don't need to be a member of the guild. And that stands for everybody. I mean, at the point that you have no trust in the guild leader, why be in the guild? To me, it's just common sense. You know, if Dimitri loses trust in me, if Gummy loses trust in me, if Cove loses trust in me, then they shouldn't be members of the guild anymore. It doesn't mean we can't still be friends, but that's the reason for me saying that. And then when I said that, he seemed shocked, and I explained it to him. And I thought that, he had a really good understanding where I was coming from with it. And so, what I was, getting at there was that he had said he wanted some time at that meeting to say his say, or his to deliver his message. And so I was asking him, well, how much time do you need? Do you need a couple of minutes, or 5 minutes, or 10 minutes? I'll give you however much time you want at whichever part of the meeting you want, and you'll be completely uninterrupted, and you'll be able to say whatever it is that you need to say. And he didn't show for the meeting. So I, I can't really control that. Now, when it came down to him having the meeting with the council, Kilth didn't want me at that meeting. And so I wasn't at that meeting. So I don't know what all was said in it. I know it was long. It was a couple hours long. And then afterwards, the council came to me and they said, okay, Kilth said he's quitting the guild, but he wants 3 days before he quits the guild. And I'm like, if he said he's quitting the guild, then he's quitting the guild now. You don't say I'm quitting the guild and then you get 3 days. I mean, that made no sense to me.
User in your channel timed out.
So I believe it was Aramane, I could be wrong, communicated with him. I think he was saying that he didn't get his chance to make a post before his permissions were removed. And if that's the case, then that wasn't intended. If he has something that he wants to say and he wants to make a post, we can certainly put it up on the forums for him. Aside from that, I think that all of the other stuff that you guys are bringing up is really a bunch of nitpicking. I really do. You know, the whole he wants to be leader thing. You're taking one sentence out of all of the stuff that we've said about this, which is not all that much. We haven't said all that much about it because there just hasn't been all that much to say. And you're saying here's our ammunition that we're loading our weapon with. It's it. I see hurt
User entered your
feelings,
channel.
and I see unhappy people, and that in and of itself can be okay. Actually, I didn't call this meeting. The members of Who called this meeting, so this meeting is for them. So I'm saying my piece, and then all the other people in the channel, that's who the meeting is for.
Yeah, and to be clear, let's put this in a box and not turn it into something confrontational. We appreciate the feedback for the general membership because I think that there were a lot of questions and a lot of concerns, and having y'all jump on and provide your feedback's important from a transparency perspective.
Absolutely.
So I don't really know if there's much more that needs to be said on this specific topic. I appreciate everyone jumping on. I do hope that the folks that have left continue to keep the lines of communication open over time. And if there is an opportunity to repair lost relationships, great. If not, love you. Wish everyone the best. But again, thanks for showing up.
May I
Did
say a few
any of the
things?
members have any questions or anything? Because, I mean, if you do, I'll answer them as best I can, or any of the other folks that are here can answer.
Yeah, I mean, just kind of speaking as someone who's not directly involved in this, and like many of you others, I've kind of gotten tied up with real life and don't spend a lot of time on online anymore. So, from those of us that are a little bit on the periphery of this, it's just a little bit sad because we don't share the earth. I should just speak for myself. I don't share the the ill feelings in any of this, and still feel like we have some friendships with all of the people involved. So it's just kind of I think a lot of us feel like we're a little bit caught in the middle, and there's not really a side to take. I like Joe, and I like Gummy, and I like Kilth, and just kind of sad to see this all go down. But it's good to hear people's perspectives. So kudos to everyone for getting this together and giving everyone a chance to talk. Like Parabus, I'll just echo that. Hopefully that we can all just continue to be friends and bump into each other online, and things will play out like they need to.
Well, I'm still BattleNet, or I'm still playing WoW. Everybody I hope still is my BattleNet friend. Please contact me. So I'm still out there playing.
Yeah, definitely.
I play a shitty priest. Holla.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I can confirm that.
So we finally hear Farm Boy. What's up?
I spoke up earlier. You just chose to ignore it. That's all. What's going on, man? How you doing?
Doing all right.
Still sounds the same.
Yeah.
May I say a few things?
You may.
So I'm sorry if I sort of ramble. Haven't really gathered my thoughts. You all know me. I don't care for drama. It's just not something that's interesting to me. The shit with Vish, Wooster, whatever. I had no idea about that shit, and I had no idea about this shit either until it all happened at once. But to me, this isn't a guild. It's not. I wouldn't call it that. I would just call it a group of like really long-term, lifelong friends who happen to play games online together. And we've all been at each other's houses. I've fucking flown across the ocean to be at a FUCON, Vegas, all that shit. So to me, all this drama is not something that should get in the way of people being friends. Kilth is my my first internet friend and one of my longest running friends, probably one of my best friends
User
ever.
entered your channel.
And you assholes are a quick number two to that. So what I guess I just want to say is that whatever the fuck happens with games or guild bullshit, I'm not going to stop being friends with any of you assholes. And I hope that you don't stop being friends with me. So whatever happens, just take that into account, that you can't just throw away friendships of over a decade because of some shit that happened in a week. Or from my perspective anyway, it might have been long accumulating, but that's just my perspective. I don't give a shit about what happened. I'm just gonna keep being friends with you motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's a great perspective.
And that may not have added
That's
anything,
fantastic
but
perspective.
Well, if I can
I just
jump
hate
in
that this
too,
shit happened in the first place.
I'm with Scuba here. I feel the same way, but unfortunately, I also feel like I got a group of my good friends. A couple of them I was just at their house a couple weekends ago, and I mean, yeah, we had a little spat over Kilth. Me and Kilth have had our differences, but these guys, they're the ones leaving. Like, nobody asked Dimitri, Gummy, Kilth, Cove. Nobody asked anybody to leave the guild. Me, Joe, all the counselors, we pleaded with everyone to stay. And if they don't want to hang out with us, that's fine, but they can stay in the guild if they ever do want to come back and get over what they're mad about or talk about it. They have that option. But we didn't make anyone leave. You all just left. You were never asked to leave. You were never forced to leave. Not one person has been forced out of this guild.
So why can't we have like the friendly permissions on the forums then, instead of like having forum like member access? Why can't we have like what guests have?
Why couldn't we have had a discussion about that before everybody made their goodbye post?
Why can't you not just quit the guild and just be a member of the community like everybody else?
Yeah.
Because you're friends with everybody.
I mean, nobody
so
made anybody leave.
so I think my recommendation is consistent with Gummy, although not coming from kind of a questioning perspective. I would recommend that anyone that left as part of this is given some level of access to the forum so we can all keep in touch.
I'll have to create it.
Yep.
It's there, but it's broken. So I mean, there's a friends or whatever, but it doesn't have the right permissions.
I just,
But I
think
don't mind
there's-
doing that.
I
Go ahead.
You guys
just,
are only
I
not
don't want
around
to
'cause
be
you
in
don't
the
wanna
guild
be.
right now, but I wouldn't mind communicating. And I heard you guys were trying to raid this past week, and you guys were short one person. Why didn't you guys reach out to any of us? That just seems silly that you guys just didn't do that.
And I think that's an appropriate question, but again, without this conversation having taken place, that bridge may not have existed. So something to think about going forward.
Yeah.
I don't think that this is something that cannot be salvaged. I think that given some time, people will cool their heads and hopefully come back together, because I don't want to be the asshole between two groups of friends trying to be an intermediary. So
That's it.
Yeah.
We can't make them stay though. That's the problem. We can't make them talk to us.
Well, I'm calling it right
special
now.
permissions on the forum. I don't know.
Yeah, Dimitri can't resist Mortal Online, so that's just. Hey George, do you want to wrap at this point, and if folks want to hang out and talk, go from there?
Whenever you're running it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really see too much actionable out of this. What I'm hearing is, we'll look at trying to develop some type of communication access in the guild site, and people should continue to talk and be friends and not be petty. And we'll get over this.
Can I just make a suggestion then, just real quick?
Yep.
I think it's really important to keep the communication open, and obviously there's a difference between the bullshitting, the off-topic forums, and just the general game discussion, and specific like raid discussions and the internal member discussions. I think you need to create something like a a foo, I don't know what's that big fancy word, Parabus, about the former member but not a current active member type thing, emeritus or something like that. I don't know.
There you go.
But making a status that is that says, I was once active in the guild, but I'm no longer participating in the day-to-day functions of it, or whatever. And maybe that's kind of the title of it. These people are not just like a guest. These people are people that have spent, fuck. I mean, I've known you guys for like 20 years. It's crazy. And
we had the off-duty veteran status or whatever that we had for that, but that doesn't really work. I mean, I can certainly make something that does what you're talking about, that gives access to a limited number of forums.
Right. I just look at them like things that are general discussions on games that people might be playing, talking about the new games, the off-topic stuff, all that. That'd be great to have. They can still PM each other, whatever, but they're no longer seeing the day-to-day in and out runnings of raid organizing and discussion of, the internal guild, stuff. Anyway, that's just, it's kind of, I just think there needs to be a status like that. It'd be really healthy.
Good lord. All right. Well, thanks for everyone showing up. Scuba, do you wanna close it out for us?
And prayer.
To me, it's not about what game you're playing or what fucking little guild tag is over your pixelated character. It's about shit like this, what we're doing right now, and getting together, FUCONs. If that never happens again, so be it. But I would sure love for it to happen again. So Like Sock was saying,
Huh.
keeping communication open between people is probably the most important thing. I